Hello everybody, welcome back to Film Friday. My name is Miles, as you probably know by now. We are working our way through my Blu-rays right now. Next on the agenda is Alien Covenant. Now, controversial. I like this film. As an Alien fan, I probably shouldn't. And I know a lot of people who are Alien fans do not like the later films like Prometheus and Covenant. Prometheus I can understand, it does stray and get a little carried away with itself a bit, but I feel like this Covenant is kind of, yeah, it goes to some weird places, but it's entertaining, it's got all the core aspects of a classic Alien film, a little bit predictable in its nature, but I find it has some really standout moments. Incredible performance from Michael Fassbender in particular, playing a double role as two versions of the android that is, what's his name? David, that's it. And the scenes where he's playing opposite himself are just really cleverly shot, very intense. They interact with each other, and the CGI is subtle enough that you can't really tell that it's just him doing both parts. It feels like they're really in the room together. Very clever. They delve into more of that Prometheus like humanoid creature that kind of who were like really overpowered and originated the aliens somehow. Sorry if my lore is a bit scratchy, as I said, I'm going to be watching this this weekend to remind myself, and it does still feel very much like part of the alien world. So I think they get like the aesthetic of things right, even if the lore does seem to get a little carried away with itself. But I don't mind it, I quite like this film, sorry. But nevertheless, very much kind of alien tropes, a bit more modernised, a little more Hollywood. I think it is quite interesting that they do delve into more lore-y side things, where they look into the company that... Oh, what's the company? It's not Wayland, is it? That's Blade Runner. What's the company in Alien? Okay, just did a quick fact check. It is Wayland. I was correct. In which case, I can't remember the Blade Runner one, which we'll be talking about at some point. Anyway, I was actually a latecomer fan to the Alien series. Maybe a few years ago I went through all of them and really enjoyed the journey that it took me on. Again, we all know Alien and Aliens are the epitome of that franchise. 3 was strange and 4 was even stranger. I think Resurrection was directed by... who's the French guy? Jean-Luc Pierre? Maybe. I'll do another fact check. It'll probably be on screen with the correct one. And he does some wacky films. So it's a very strange director choice. It's kind of like if you brought Guillermo del Toro onto Alien, which wouldn't be bad because he makes these sort of dark fantastical films, but you do get the kind of weird fantasy side of those directors' visions for that product. I'm not really sure what else to say other than it's controversial that I like this film, and I do think it's a bit weird that they haven't had a third one since, that being like Prometheus, Covenant, and then something else. I get that they weren't necessarily received as well as the classics, but I still think they're half decent movies. I think they're enjoyable, and there's a lot of mystery and interesting places they could go with the lore that they have built up between the two films, whether people like it or not. Okay, cover reviews. We've got Ridley Scott on terrific form from the Daily Mail. So I believe Ridley Scott was on and off with these films, or he came back for these two later ones. Because it was Ridley Scott, then James Cameron did Aliens, is that right? And then Jean, the French guy, and I don't know, I can't remember who did number 3. I'll have to check that. But Ridley Scott, I believe, was on board for Prometheus and Covenant. So at least they have some form of like original input from the OG days. We've also got a 5 stars from The Independent and a 5 stars from The Mirror. I don't know if these newspaper reviews really stand for anything. Something like this you really need to hear from fans of the series as to whether it's worth a watch. If you talk to any other Alien fan, they probably wouldn't recommend it and would shun me for liking it. So there we have it. I like this film. It's entertaining, spine-busting action. Yeah, they bust some spines. Anyway, I've probably rambled on far too much about this. Alien Covenant. Thank you, and good night.